Okay, welcome to Lobo Podcast. Today we have Vince Acevedo. Vince actually put me on my first show I ever did when I just started doing comedy. He talked about how and at that show he almost quit comedy to become a firefighter. So we talk about that, kind of the grind of being a working comic. The makeup giveaway, it's happening. I might have said it not on the podcast, but it is going on. Talking about relationships when you're with a comedian, how I became a Sox fan, right? He used to be, it involved Sammy Sosa before he became white, and why I hate Phil Mickelson, the golfer. We kind of have a similar story. Puerto Rican rice is the best. We know that. We talk about it. We talk about the best Jibaritos. Jibaritos. What? That was very white of me. I'm Mexican. Anyways, this cheap Puerto Rican rum I used to drink. If you want to do a podcast, hit up James Webb, People of Comedy. Again, the Patreon, the 2 solo dens are out. $3 a month for the cheapest tier. So please, if you want to support the podcast, here's the solo dens. Check them out. James Webb, Vince Acevedo, Lobo Den. Okay, welcome to the Lobo Den Podcast. I'm your host, Giovanni Diaz. To my left is our producer, James Webb at the People of Comedy Studio.
What's up, man?
What's up, James?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, especially seeing that big old Trump poster behind you with M60 or M. I forgot the name of that.
You want to show everyone?
It's a motor. How can I do that? Oh, yeah. Bring it on. Throw it to the way.
He's got a China flag behind it, which is great.
We like to be complicated in here.
Oh my god!
Can you see?
It's backwards, but yeah.
Oh wow. Can they see?
I wonder how Stallone and/or Schwarzenegger feels about that situation right there. I know it's a Rambo thing, but
Everybody can see it, right? Okay.
Yeah, they saw it.
and Contra, I assume.
What's funny about that is that same poster I had, where I got my behind. There's a communist China red flag. Rest in peace, Dave Metz. But that's at the I live in Waukegan at the gun store where I bought my AR-15. Last minute, I wanted a cheeseburger. I drove to get a cheeseburger. I came back with the AR-15. It's a true story. Anyways, it was during the riots. But anyways, I was like, whatever. But I went, and they had the same one. But more importantly, today our guest, Vince Acevedo. Welcome to the Lobo Den Podcast, guys.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invite.
Thank you. The last few days have been hectic. I'm a little bit more prepared. I feel a little bit underprepared for this podcast. So
good.
If there's
I
things
like
you want to ask me and talk
That's
about.
how I am on stage. You just go with it. Let it happen, let it ride.
Usually
see what comes up, and you just go with it.
Yeah, so you should prepare. I had sex like Monday, and it fucked my whole life up. Yeah, so that's it.
Is it someone that you shouldn't have?
No. So basically,
Good.
what happened? I sent a message of a girl to James. I can't talk about that girl, but basically, she said that girl was like, I don't date white women anymore. And she actually told me not to talk about her on the podcast, so I'm not going to. All I'll say is I tried white women again. I had a rule.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard that Patrice O'Neill bit where he talks about white women are cold on the outside. At first, they're nice, whatever, but they'll turn on you.
Whisper miserable stuff to you, like your mother's breath stinks.
They'll fucking
yeah.
They'll fuck your whole life up. So I had a rule: no white women for the longest
As compared
time.
to Spanish women, you think they won't?
That's a wildness. I can, screaming at me, maybe that can take. But they're like, I feel white men. They'll take you to court. You know what I mean?
Are you full? What's
Mexican?
Your,
I live in
Mexican.
Waukegan. Yeah. Well,
that's pretty
Chicano,
Mexican,
whatever. Yeah. But I'm used to that type of craziness.
Yeah,
I prefer it's. I'm covered. The white woman craziness. I feel is like they'll literally. I don't know. I'll say this. She might have allegedly wrote something like, "I'll destroy your life." If you're listening, it's the last thing I'll say. I'm sorry, but no more talking about that particular person.
What's interesting, you're getting turned on talking about her right now. I can already feel it right now. You're like, "Oh yeah, I hate her, but she can."
But it ended apologetically afterwards, apologizing like, I wish you the best, done. But that was it, man. I'm done with white women, dude. I can't. Look, I don't know, dude. You're married. You have a girl.
I'm married. My wife. It's been.
Your wife's what?
Since 2017.
Puerto Rican. You're Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican, half Mexican.
Oh, so that's the best.
It's good. It's like half a stick of dynamite, half a machete.
Yeah.
So it's always a very fiery situation. That's the best way for me to.
But you mostly dated Latinas, right? That's me.
Yeah, I've dabbled in the Caucasian, and I've always been very tempted. I'm like, oh my god, Melanie right here is great, because they're very kind of like I don't know. Maybe that's like how they lay their trap. Like
They're not
oh my God.
aggressive at
They're
first.
like, oh my God, I'm so easy to deal with.
Joey, come.
Yeah, yeah. And then you jump into it and they're like, it just changes.
That happened to me. She was like, I'm super mellow, blah, blah, blah. And I believed it. It was a different person. And then I was like, I believe, and then it turned and I was like, oh, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I never really gave any white woman a real chance to be like, we're going to date for like a year at a minimum.
James is with a Latina, right? He's married
But
to a
James,
Latina.
what is your background though?
I'm a mutt, dude.
Okay, so
I'm a little bit of everything: Japanese, Chinese, Native American, very white.
He's white.
I'm white.
But how do you go from Japanese and Chinese, then you go, I'm white?
My family has a long history of
Rape?
fucking all kinds of people. No, they're pretty friendly, actually. I'd say
it's mutual.
there might be one or two
Alright.
rapes in there. I don't know.
Attaboy.
But but yeah, I'm everything.
A lot of scholarships. I like that. Yeah, no, there was a point I was on stage making fun of it. I was like, in Latin crowds, I'd be like, I can't wait to start just dating white women. And Latin women would be like, oh my God. I'm like, you're the first one to complain about it. Talk to your husbands who will look away from you immediately. Like, I don't know what he's talking about, baby. I don't want. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody wants to get yelled at, screamed at all day, all night. What are you doing? Who are you with? Why are you hanging with friends? And it's like, oh my God, just do you.
They set you up to trap. Like you're right, they set you up. That's what's happened to me a few times. They start and it's like, oh, I'm so chill, and then it's like, and then but no, it wasn't. It was actually so. To the women who do listen to this podcast, it's usually a few weeks ahead, so I'm fine. So I have a few weeks to. Whatever, not deal with this. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Right.
But the women do listen to this that are talking to me right now. Yeah, like I had sex Monday, right? Basically, like
good for you.
Yeah, and then
You're a single dude.
Yeah,
You should not apologize.
Yeah. No.
What are they doing? Have you asked them? They're not going to tell you.
No.
So you're fine.
Oh, okay. Get closer to the mic.
Fight them. Don't let them beat you down and be like, who have you been with? They have somebody. That lightsaber that James showed me, that's who they've been with.
James wants you to get closer to the mic, by the way.
Does he?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
I'll
over
get a
there.
little closer.
He did it in a very subtle way, which I like. He said,
awesome.
Vince, eat that mic, homie.
Okay,
so bring it
so
to
here's
you
something
or
that's
whatever.
even funnier, right? So when it comes to stand-up shows, have you ever smelled a microphone at a stand-up comedy club?
I have the fortune of having a very severe, limited
nasal situation.
I have a deviated septum, so I can't smoke.
Okay.
This is before I started doing drugs, James. I always had it, anyways. But I have a deviated septum, so I've always had a hard time smelling. It wasn't up until the last few years that I allegedly started maybe dabbling
In
drugs.
okay, there it is. All right, just own it. Just own it. No,
Now, what drug is this color, anyways?
White. I used to always get yelled at from comedy club owners. They're like, you don't have the microphone close enough to your mouth.
Oh.
And there was one comedy club in particular, I'm not going to name drop because they're not around anymore, which should be enough of a hint.
Okay.
And that club owner was like, put the microphone on your chin. So your bottom lip is like just right on top of the microphone. And I smelled it, and I was like, this smells like broken dreams and rat ass.
Okay.
And the moment I put it on my chin and my bottom lip hit the top of the microphone, the very next day I had cold sores all on my bottom lip.
Oh, wow.
After that, I swore, I don't know if you've noticed, when I do shows, I always leave the microphone in the stand.
Yeah, you do.
I never
Okay.
take the microphone out.
You don't even
because
touch it.
I mean, like, I'll move around with it. Like, I'll manipulate the microphone on the mic stand, but I will never take the microphone out and put it on my face.
Oh, wow.
Because of that.
The kind of the same thing happened to me, but it was at a motel with a girl, not a prostitute. But I say that because listeners know I used to sleep with prostitutes, like probably for a lot, anyways.
No pressure.
But no, saying I was at a hotel. It was one of those hotels where I went up and I was like, "Hey, how much?" And it was like they were like for the night or
My sister.
Yeah, they were like for the night or 2 hours, and I didn't know. I was like, "What do you mean 2 hours?" Naive at the time, and I was like, "Just for the night, yeah." And I remember asking my girlfriend at the time or whatever. I was like, that was a 2 hour. I couldn't even. But now it's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. But I slept there that night. Woke up with a sty in my eye.
Oh no.
On the thing. So you're a clean person, I'm guessing. You clean. You're Puerto Rican, so you're gonna have a fresh fade and everything like that, and eyebrows.
I just got a haircut yesterday, and that's after like 2 weeks of being indoors like a caveman. Like eyebrows are starting to connect. I was like, no, this isn't gonna work.
So, but you're a clean person, it seems like, right? Because the microphone.
I would assume so.
Okay,
I
yeah.
shower.
Yeah. Did I? Yeah, I did shower today. I did.
When I needed protection, I used to use protection.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So do Puerto Ricans, because Mexicans, I feel, use less protection. Puerto Ricans use protection?
No, they don't.
No, okay. You're an exception.
Have
to
you
the rule.
seen our last names? They're everywhere, dude. Diaz, Ramirez.
I'm a Diaz, yeah.
Yeah, Acevedo. We're a little rare, but we're out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've been spread out quite a bit.
Yeah, so I don't.
I just found out Acevedos are very popular in the Philippines.
Oh, really?
Because Spaniards raped everybody.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's just how that works.
That's where we get it from. But you just had I think I was talking to my friend today. I was talking to, maybe I shoot blanks because I've never gotten any. You just had a kid, right? You have a.
Yeah, I have. He's my son Mason. He's gonna be 11 months next month.
Okay, how's that been?
February 8th was when he was born.
How has it been?
It's been great. Man.
Okay, because usually you'd be traveling, you'd be on the boats, or you'd be.
I would have been gone.
Okay.
I would have been gone this entire. His first 2020 for me was gonna be the highest grossing year for me as a comedian ever. Mm-hmm. Because I was gonna. Some people know it, some people don't. I was gonna quit stand up right before I got the cruise ships. Because I was booked all the time, but I wasn't making money. $100 here, $200 there, and people sometimes think that like, because you're booked all the time, you're making cash, and you are not. Like you're just grinding it out, and $300-$400 that's getting you nowhere. That's your car insurance and your cell phone. So it has nothing to do with your gas, nothing to do with your food, nothing to do with your electric, nothing to do with your travel. A, B, C, D.
You want to take a girl out?
Nothing. So yeah, when it came down to it, the cruise ships are great, but when it comes to my son. It's just been the greatest situation ever. Like I love being a dad, and I was the first one on airplanes. If you followed my Instagram, I always would roll my eyes when I would hear kids cry. Like you would see the pain in my face. Like another fucking kid.
Yeah.
I was the worst, and now I've got my son, and when he cries, I'm like, oh my god, he's adorable. I mean, I think about throwing him against a wall, but I never would.
Yeah.
I think he's great. Other kids, I'll still kick them, but like,
other people's
kids. It's a different vibe. And to have this first year with him, literally, just a first year with him at home, solid, daddy daycare. It's been, I wouldn't trade it for the world. But when work starts again, I'm the first one out of the door.
Yeah.
But it's been a huge blessing to just have every day to build a great foundation with him where when he sees me, he's going to recognize me, my voice, my mannerisms, playtime, the whole 9 years.
So it's kind of cool that the world almost ended this year because it hooked you up, dude.
Yeah. I mean, for me, for that situation, which is the greatest situation for me, it's been wonderful, man.
Yeah, I feel good. I had a good year, and I feel like I don't really tell people, right? Because I feel guilty because it's 2020, and like some of my friends, they're like,
it's been a rough year, man.
Rough year.
2020's been. Yeah,
and it's like, man, I'm not gonna say it's the best year of my life, but it's up there for me. I had a good year. I made James. Oh, we and James started recording this year, right? Because of COVID, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because of COVID. Because I'd go
smart.
Yeah, I would go to people's houses or libraries. But I remember I think it was Abby, right? I was like, Abby, we still scheduled to be at your house to record, right? When the lockdown hit. I'm in your house next week. And he was like, you know what? Not so much, right?
Yeah, we're gonna cancel that.
Yeah, we're gonna go and cancel. So then I was like, so I hit up James. I was like, the studio, and then I started recording here.
Smart, man.
Yeah, and then
great setup. This is a beautiful setup.
Yeah. Oh, he loves you. We walked
even the fact that there's a Trump flag and a communist China flag, like I'm still like
it balances out, fun. Right? It cancels each other out. The communist China.
I try to be as complicated as I can.
It's great. The fact that you have Star Wars on the other side, I forgive you for all the other nonsense you have on this side.
What is this robot in front of me, James? He's a little.
That's the Doom guy. From Doom Eternal.
Oh, from Doom, yeah.
The movie with the Rock.
Yes.
Did you guys? Was that a bad movie? I heard it was not good, right?
Not great.
It's awful. What is it? The BMF?
BFG.
BFG. Yes, that was close.
What does BFG mean?
The big fucking gun.
There it is.
Was that the name of the gun in the video game, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It would shoot out this huge green orb. I'm letting a lot of my nerdiness out right now.
Yeah.
Huge green orb. It would eliminate tons of people right now.
I played like a Quake or something. Oh, the BFG. Oh, okay.
There it is. Yeah. Oh my God, I remember playing that old.
Did you play Duke Nukem? Do you remember Duke Nukem?
I did not play Duke Nukem, man.
See, I was a dirty kid.
I was very. That's hilarious. I was very interesting when it came to the video games I played. Like for a very long time, all the way up until like my college years, I was a pretty innocent dude. Like my two best friends, Mike and Joe, they were brothers, and I would go to their house during my college years. We played Mario Party on their GameCube. Like I wasn't out going to clubs, drinking, and spending money or strip clubs. 21 years old, I was in their place playing Mario Party.
What ruined you?
What ruined me? I'll tell you her name. And you know what? Even at the same time, I wasn't a drinker. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't start drinking until I was like 22, 23.
20, I started drinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was before. I was a happy-go-lucky kid. Like I don't think I was ever depressed or sad before I started talking to ladies. Like everything was perfect, dude. I was trying to tip cows. I had the time of my life. Yeah. And then I dated a girl.
And then you dated the wrong girl. It was a 737 Max. And it was all downhill from there.
I think I cried for the first time in my life.
In the shower. Very Ace Ventura. Oh, no.
Or outside her house or something. I don't know. But
right. Baby, come back. Burn.
But no, it never happened. So you got ruined by a Puerto Rican lady?
No. You know what? Fuck. By chance. Yeah, it was. That bitch. I won't say her name.
Okay.
What I will say, though, is I'm going to try to give just enough information because she was engaged to a police officer, right? And then it all got called off because apparently maybe he was talking to somebody on the side.
Okay.
And then she came to a show. We started chatting. I was single at the time. And then she just kind of used me as a huge rebound. And I wasn't paying attention to it.
You weren't aware, yeah.
I wasn't aware. I was so lost in the moment. I was like, yeah, you're gorgeous. I'll go with it. And she took me for a ride like it was Great America. And then what ended up happening, the reason I found out that there was a bunch of dirt going on in the background, she borrowed a, do you remember the G1 slide phone from T-Mobile?
Is that the one
the black phone that slid upwards?
That was my first smartphone.
Is that the one that Paris Hilton had? Is that similar to it? No, she had a sidekick.
Okay, no, but it wasn't a sidekick, but it slid up. It was a dope phone from T-Mobile. I had borrowed this phone to her because something happened with hers. It broke. And I was like, oh, I got an extra one here. Just use it. When she gave it back to me, when we stopped talking, she took her SIM card out but didn't realize.
I had that.
Yeah. That was the one.
I had the
God, that was
version.
such a great phone,
this phone was
dude.
the shit. It was out.
Yeah,
so
dude.
jealous that phone is not around anymore. It was great.
The little ball too.
Yeah.
I love it.
She took her SIM card out and didn't realize everything was still saved on the memory itself.
Oh.
So when I turned this power back on and put my code in to turn the phone back on, all of her messages were saved, text messages. So she was texting me and then she was texting her ex-fiance. So she would see me during the day and him at night and vice versa. And he would be like, oh, you're going to go see that asshole? And she'd be like, no, I'm not going to. And I'm like, oh, are we chilling? She'd be like, yeah, I'm on my way. And I was like, she is the worst. And now she's a principal at a school.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, my God, dude. That's probably enough information for some people to guess who it is. But, yeah, dude, I've had a couple doozies. And I wasn't a drinker, but because she was going through that situation, she was like, oh, well, why don't you have a drink with me? And I was like, well, I really don't know what to drink. What should we do? And then that's where it all started. And
do you remember what that first drink was or no?
It was either a Long Island or a screwdriver.
Yeah, it's always a Long Island, right?
Yeah, me and Long Islands were like this for a long time. Yeah.
No, the same thing happened to me. Like I don't consider myself a hoe in those words. Men don't really use those words. I don't. But I have friends who are ladies, right? And I ask them, and they're like, "You don't think I'm a hoe?" Like Giovanni, and they laugh when I ask that question. Like James is laughing. Like
you are a hoe, bro.
But I'm on the inside, so I don't see it, right? Because in my head, I'm like, "Oh, I'm." Not.
And then, living your life.
But then from the outside, people see on this outside. So that girl that I slept with recently, I hung out with her recently, and I was supposed to hang out with a different girl after, but then the different girl, I had a good time with her, and I was like, I kind of just never messaged the other girl, and then I did a podcast with some dudes in Rockford. The other girl might have heard that, she got blown off, and she messaged me, so she was upset. But the original girl that I hung out with, I wonder if she knows I was supposed to hang out with the other girl. But if you... Whatever. I have a few weeks before it gets ruined, right?
Okay.
So that girl I hung out with again, and then I slept with her.
Good for you.
Actually, if in my trunk right now is I have 2 bottles of champagne.
Oh, okay.
2 bottles of champagne.
I got a bottle of Black Label, 2 bottles of champagne, some Malibu.
I asked you if you drink, and you told me no, and you're telling me you have all this alcohol in
I don't
your
drink
trunk.
During podcast.
Only when you're about to have sex.
I want to have, so basically as soon as it gets off here, I'm going home, shower, and I'm driving up to, I don't know, maybe Wisconsin, where I'm going, and I want to have a sex party tonight, because I don't work tomorrow. So basically, let's say I hung out with somebody recently, that girl I slept with, but I had to work the next day. So on Monday, I was an hour's sleep. So
you're taking your sack and giving some gifts.
Yeah, dude.
I'm Christmas. You're Santa Claus right now.
When my lunch break, I bought a bunch of booze at Myers. Yeah, a bunch of booze at Meyer. And I was like, let's go.
You're so nervous about the sex you're gonna have.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm ready to. I don't think this is what I said. You had a child. I think I'm shooting blanks because I've never gotten anybody
How
pregnant.
How old are you?
36.
Okay, I just turned 36 a couple days ago.
Okay, you just turned 36. I'm always the oldest person in this room.
No, I just turned 36 December 20th.
Okay.
Happy
you
birthday! Oh
very
yeah, happy
much.
birthday! Happy birthday! Those are my notes.
appreciate it,
Happy
man.
birthday!
No,
Right?
just
What'd you
stop
do for
it.
your What'd you do for your birthday?
You know, I went to the casino with one of my best friends.
Hammond
went to
is open
Horseshoe.
24 hours, by the way.
Yo, Indiana gives no fucks
Dude,
about safety at all, and I appreciate it. Because first off, Rivers, I think I've gotten one jackpot at Rivers once randomly, and it was after I took a flight after a cruise back home. My best friend Alex picked me up. We went to Rivers to grab a couple shots, and I played this game called Buffalo Gold. Threw like $100 into one machine, and then it just got into the bonus, started getting everything. I think I got like $2,300. So then we just had more shots of tequila. Then I went home and got yelled at. Whatever. But I love the casinos in Indiana because I love Horseshoe, then I love Ameristar, and then I love Majestic, which is closer to Gary.
Okay.
And then if you keep going, there's a place in Michigan City, Indiana called Blue Chip Casino. Beautiful hotel, great casino. And if you decide you don't want to stay there 10 minutes further because it's right off the border of Michigan and Indiana, you go to Four Winds Casino. Gorgeous. I'm a delinquent.
Dude, I love
I guess that's really the moral of the story. I'm a delinquent for casinos.
Thanksgiving. I don't know how your Thanksgiving was. Thanksgiving, I was there. I ate. I was sitting
Where?
there.
Horseshoe?
No, I went to Potawatomi.
In Milwaukee?
In Milwaukee, because I live
that's a
between
great
Chicago and
casino
Milwaukee.
also.
Great
Yeah,
casino,
man.
dude. Because I hate going to Rivers.
Massive casino.
I love that casino. So I was sitting at Thanksgiving, and I was like, "What? We already ate." I was like, "What am I gonna do?" So I hit up this girl. Not the girl. Oh fuck. But anyways, that's a girl who, she got 2 DUIs like the other year within like a
Perfect.
month.
Perfect.
But she hasn't drank in like 2 months. So I hit her up.
Boring.
And I was like,
So boring now.
she hasn't drank, and I was like, "Let's go to
You know,
the
somebody's
casino."
going to show up like, oh my God, Giovanni, hi. And she's like Spanish.
She's Mexican.
See what I
and
mean?
She has a Puerto Rican baby daddy, though. She does have a. I know.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Juan. It's probably Juan.
I don't know, but allegedly, no, that's too extreme. But I don't want to
Okay.
put her business out there. But which I might already have on this
Just
podcast.
partially.
But
Okay,
I think
no
it's probably
worries.
in a different episode. But
All right.
like it got wild. So I picked her up. I went to the casino. But then I was like, when I was there, I started playing blackjack.
I
And
love
then
blackjack.
And then I won. Did you see the movie 21?
Yeah?
Yeah, I watched it that next day, and I watched videos and basic strategy. So then I went to the casino 3 days in a row after Thanksgiving. I won money, but it was all blackjack. And then
It's blackjack. I love blackjack because you have your main bet, and then on some tables you have a side bet.
oh, you do the side bet?
I love the side. That's where you make your money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. There's a certain side bet called +3.
Okay.
So essentially you're trying to make a poker hand. So if I have 8 and a 9 that you've dealt me, and you have a 10 or a 7, 8, 9, 10, or 7, 8, 9. That side bet will pay you like $45.
Can you gamble on the boats?
No, not as a worker.
Oh, so that's all in front of you. You can't even touch it.
Dude, it's the worst. It's probably the best for me because I know
You'd lose
for
all
a
your money.
fact I'd be the worst. I'd be the worst. But like when I would go to the Bahamas and I was working on the ship, I would work on the ship, and then as soon as we get to the Bahamas, I would jump off, grab a cab, and go to the Atlantis. And I'd be in the Atlantis casino for hours. Bang, bang, bang. Or there's another place called the Bahamar, another beautiful resort in the Bahamas, and I'd be there just going for it.
We should have like a comedy gambling casino night, dude. I love going to the casino, dude.
It'd be
man.
all for it, man. It'd be great. Now, here's the difference also is that at the Atlantis, they have the side bet. At the Bahamar, they don't.
No.
So it's just straight blackjack. And that's where I feel like you lose your money.
You gotta the straight blackjack. You gotta learn basic strategy, that chart or whatever.
And not just
you have to have
everybody you're
memorized,
playing with has to be on the
and
same
you have to count,
page.
and you have to
Yeah.
learn how to count. You gotta learn the counting system.
Because
And-
it's right hits, wrong hits. You got to know when you're not supposed to do certain things, or when you're supposed to sacrifice yourself for the table. Some people don't want to if they've been losing all day. You don't know it.
yeah,
Some people lost $3,000 already, and they're going to take hits they're not supposed to, and they ruin the rhythm.
or they start drinking. Do you drink when you get? I don't, because I try to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because then all of a sudden I'm like Jackie Chan in Drunken Master. I'm like, oh, hit me.
Yeah, dude.
Hit me again. And then I have the other Asians upset at me. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I do what you do.
The Asians are at all the casinos, right?
All of 'em.
It's either I always see it's a casino. Lots for Asians, somebody in a wheelchair, and somebody with a tank.
Baccarat. They're always at Baccarat or Paigao.
Oh, Baccarat. I don't know. How do you know? Is it a simple game? That's the one that Sean.
It's a popular game, and essentially what it is you're betting on if you are going to have the better hand or the dealer is. But some of these individuals who are playing have that game down packed, where they're walking out with several $1,000s at the end of the day. And they're doing it every day. That's their income.
Casinos are accepting Bitcoin, right?
They
are,
better.
bro.
I know
Vegas
is.
Vegas
Yeah,
is.
Vegas is accepting Bitcoin, dude. Vegas is accepting Bitcoin.
Are they paying out in Bitcoin?
I would be surprised if they were, but I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't also.
Yeah. I heard
I'm
they
looking this up. Right
look it up. I heard something on the casinos playing, but yeah. So Thanksgiving I went, and then now, like I was thinking about this the other day or today. I was talking to my friend.
Have you noticed I've snapped a couple times, and now you just snap?
Am I snapping?
Yeah, you just did the same thing. I'm like, yeah, rubbing off. All right, very nice.
I do that, dude. Maybe when I realize it. Oh wow, I've never snapped before on the podcast.
Sure you have. You
James?
just never realized it up until right now.
Oh wow.
It takes a Puerto Rican with a lot of sass to get you to start snapping randomly.
This is tricks though. You're playing with your Puerto Rican mind tricks on me. With the girl, right? Because I was hanging out with the girl the other day. Because after we slept, I stayed and hung out.
Okay.
Because I'm a simp.
Snuggled.
Yeah.
You made it legitimate.
Yeah. And I enjoyed. So I was like, and I was thinking like she's talking. I was laughing, right? And I was like, and I couldn't tell. I can't tell anymore. If a girl is actually funny, or if I think she's funny because I'm very attracted to her. Like I was telling my friend, I was like, I was actually laughing, but I was telling her like maybe it's my dick telling my brain like, look, make him laugh. I know it's not funny.
Play the role.
Yeah, don't fuck this up for me, type of thing. But it was I don't know. It's all confusing because it's every time this happens. I meet a girl smitten, and I'm like, I love her, and then and then she was telling me all kinds of nasty stuff, and
I understand.
Let's say, all right, let's do a different story that has nothing to do with this girl. Like,
let's pretend we're doing a different story, but then tell me exactly what it is and say it's a different story.
I'll tell you a different story. It's my friend's cousin met a girl recently, right? And then she was and then he found out she was a preacher's daughter, right? Because let's say he hung out with her.
It's always a preacher's daughter,
dude. Yeah, and I was
always.
They hung out the first time, and she's normal, and then she's like, oh yeah, I'm a preacher's daughter, and I was like, oh okay, and then the freak came out. And
Did she save you?
Huh? I hope
Has
so,
she saved
right?
You? Okay.
I hope, because at first I was like, and I was like, oh, and then all the freaky start coming out, and I was like, oh wow. So now I'm like, I'm ready. I'm like ready for, but I don't want to like ruin Christmas and not go back.
Or maybe you're saving Christmas, and you're the savior to her demons.
I'm ready to knock out that Nuva ring.
There, the Nuva ring. How large is your cock? All right, I like that. You're going deep.
Wait, does it mean it's loose? Maybe. Oh, because it's not that big, so it must be. What if it's loose?
listen,
I'm having a baby. Right?
If
Yours is 11.
If you thought you were shooting blanks, you're not anymore. So just prepare yourself.
Because it did come in her.
Good for you.
Oh.
Good for you. Listen, 2020. Who knows what's going to happen next year,
we
man?
We have an announcement. I'm having a baby, I guess. But I don't care. I love her. Anyways, remember you were talking about earlier how you were about to, so my first show I ever did, show was your show at Toomba. What was it called? Toomba.
Wow.
The first show I ever did. So before that, it was just like open mics, and I was on Facebook, and some girl posted. I'm sure I was trying to fuck her, but she was Puerto Rican. Anyways, but from Waukegan or my area. And then she posted, she was a bartender there. I forgot your name. She does hair now. I can't remember her name, but she was a bartender at the Toomba. Okay.
I know who it is. I know who it is because it hit me like a lightning bolt that I recognize the situation.
So that
not because I was getting my hair done like you were getting your hair done.
So then she posted about a show, right? And at that time, I just started. So anything I see comedy on Facebook, I don't know where anything's at. I'm learning. I'm like, I see it, and I immediately message her like, "Where's it at?" I was like, "Comedy? Where? Who? What?" Because she's like, "I'm bartending tonight. Comedy at Toomba." Am I saying it right? Toomba. Toomba. So then I message her, and she's like, "Oh, reach out to Vince." And I reach out, and you're like, "Oh yeah, come out here, do 5 minutes." And I was like, all right. So it was me. It was it was me. Calvin was hosting. Mona was there. I think remember Mona was. This made me crazy. Mona was next to me, and she put her set list together before the show, which was the craziest thing at the time to me because I just started. So my set list was like 2 days before, and I'm going over it nonstop for 2 days. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I saw her just kind of put it together on the spot, and it blew my mind at the time. In my first year, I was like, how? It was the craziest thing to me. And then it was me, you, the Indian dude who went to New York and had some show like on Fuse. I forgot his name. He was on the show.
Jesus.
And then rest in peace to Miss Vicky. Miss Vicky was on the show.
Miss Nikki.
Sorry about that. Rest in peace, Miss Nikki. She was
on.
But yeah, that was. And that show, I remember you were telling the audience you were ready to quit comedy. You were going to do the firefighters test or something like that.
I did it.
Yeah.
I passed it. I passed the firefighters test.
Oh, was that before or after that show?
It was after. Yeah, I did well, go ahead, finish your story, and then I'll.
No, but I remember that you were there, and then I saw you, and you gave a speech to the audience because this is your private rooms. These are your people, right?
Yeah.
And you were telling them straight up, like, look, man, it's tough, blah blah. I just took, and then when you said, everybody's like, no, but it's like, look, I got bills to pay or something like that.
Man.
And then you.
That's before a kid.
Yeah, that was before your kid, right?
Before a kid and marriage. Yeah, listen, comedy, I think a lot of people have a totally different idea of what comedy is. And I feel every comedian that you've had here is given a different set of knowledge. You know, everybody has their own opinion, their own path. Like, there's been some great comedians from Chicago that have hit some really big home runs this year. Abby hit a big home run. Joey hit a big home run. Calvin hit a big home run. But everybody has a different home run they're hitting. For me, I hit my own home run because I'm working year-round I'm traveling across the world. I'm doing cruise ships. I'm meeting tons of different people. You know, everybody's got a different situation that they're doing. But before those home runs hit, all you're doing is striking out and swinging.
Yeah.
Maybe a single here, a single there. You're going to small dive rooms.
Yeah, because we
$50, $75, $100, but you're spending $300. Travel,
gas,
hotel,
food,
motel.
hotel.
Yeah, man. So there was a point where I had the opportunity to take the fireman's exam. I was like, yeah, I'd much rather do this because I'd seen other veteran comics who were still making $75, $100, and they're like 20 years in. I was like, I don't want to do that. So, but I ended up doing the fireman's exam and I passed it. But here's what's crazy is that the only reason I did not take this fireman's job was because there was a lawsuit that happened right after I took the fireman's exam. And it was stating that the written exam was racially biased. So there was a group of individuals who were bumped up on the list because the exam was considered racially biased.
Okay.
Right? So I got bumped down. And I'm a minority.
You're Puerto Rican. Puerto Ricans are part
but I'm a
black.
minority. I wasn't going to say it out loud, but that's cool. You're an animal.
But you
all negative comments go to Giovanni
it's
Diaz
in the
at yahoo.com.
It's part of the island history.
Yeah, yeah. So that happened, right? So I was like, all right, well, I just got to wait my turn.
Okay.
So 3-4 years later, I'm still waiting. Another lawsuit happens with women saying that the physical test was too biased towards sex. Or not sex, but like your sexual orientation. Yeah.
Yeah, like real firemen.
Like if
who
a
can
fire
lift
happens, do you want some 5'1" young lady trying to lift you up out of a burning building?
Of course.
Like that's what it came down to. And they're like, oh, I guess that's not really right also. Everybody has a chance to save a life up until you're burning to fucking death. But I do know some very strong women that work out and they're like prepared for it, but not every woman is that way.
Kegels, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, steel marbles. So then that hit, and then I got bummed down again. So finally, right?
Like, when does a Puerto Rican get a chance around here, dude? Come on.
So finally, I just start working the cruise ships, right? And I'm like, man, this is a great gig. I got the invite to be a consistent worker. I've put in the work, and now I'm just a regular on the cruises. And then not only do I lock in Norwegian, I lock in Carnival also. So I'm like, I've got 2 different accounts. I'm good to go. Yeah. So I am doing Norwegian. I'm leaving from Miami to Havana. Back when we were doing cruises to Cuba. My first time to Cuba, Cuba is incredible. If you've never been there, as soon as Biden gets in and you get a chance, they reopen that, go to Cuba. It is gorgeous. Just like Puerto Rico.
Dude, I'm sure.
Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, all those things, we're all cousins, and I hate the fact we all hate on each other. Puerto Ricans are still the best, but still, I'm just saying. But it was wonderful. So I'm in Cuba. I have my laptop up. I'm at a hotel called Hotel Presidente. I have a beer called Cristal, the best beer I've ever had in my life. I have a cigar in my right hand, my beer in my left hand, my laptop, and I'm poolside, 88-degree weather, dry heat. So the pool is perfect. I get an email that pops up from the Chicago Fire Department.
Oh, wow.
Hey, can you be here in 3 days for the physical exam? I'm in Cuba, and I've been locked into this job for 2 years. I'm like, no, I can't make it. Yeah. I was like, no, suck all these balls. You will never see me.
I'm getting paid to tell
climbing
jokes.
up a ladder. Yeah. And I wasn't going to do it.
Oh, that's
No,
awesome,
not
dude.
at all. I mean, 3 years after the fact, now I'm like, I wish I was a fireman. But at the same token, like, at that moment, it was totally the right choice. I've met thousands of people, been across the world. To be what? To be a jackass on stage.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah. I don't remember. Like, I still remember the first time I got a show. I did a show and somebody paid me. It was the craziest.
It's crazy.
It was like it was like $20, but I was like, maybe it was just 10 minutes, but I was like, somebody paid me $20 to tell jokes. And
It's a high.
Yeah. It's the craziest thing to me. Like, like on this thing, which, again, I started Patreon. I recorded the episode. It's uploaded on YouTube. I haven't put it up yet and I apologize to the people, because I had people sign up on the Patreon. I have like some members. It's crazy to me, like, you know what I mean, like
dope
paying. It's like it's in the beginning, but it's like, but I was on 1 hour sleep on Monday, so
okay.
that's one of the reasons I'm below it. But I have 2 days off, so I'm going to be delayed. So after I can get up in the morning.
Doesn't matter, man.
If I have to, I'll do drugs, but I'll get everything out, guys. I'll get everything out.
Let me know when you're doing them.
After my sex party.
Don't be selfish. That's all I'm saying.
Man. Oh, that's funny. We did a show, right? You were making fun of the people. We did the show at, what is it? It was by my job, basically, in Elk Grove Village. I can't remember the name. At work, right?
At work. Yeah. Oh, you know what? That is a great spot. Mm-hmm. And I got to send a shout out to my boy Anthony Fuentes.
Ya tu sabes.
Yo, Anthony Fuentes is one of the hardest grinders, and
he's a hustler, dude.
That dude hustles his ass off, bro. He'll sell ice to a penguin, and he's out there setting up shows. And when everything was shut down, he had shows going,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'm with it. Let's go for it. And this guy is a great dude, and he's putting everybody on. If you reach out to him, you're funny, you're respectful. Yeah. He's like, yo, let's all do this together. Let's all get after it.
Yeah,
which is great, man, because you really don't. Sometimes you have good rapport with people, and sometimes you don't vibe with them, and it just kind of the vibe. But he's just a great dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, when I saw him, Pilsen stand-up was when I first saw him. Like, I think he had a guest spot and I had a guest spot I kind of fucked up my guest spot, but
who hasn't?
Yeah, I don't. Who hasn't? It's funny because I let like one stupid thing that like the what is it, the stage, right? There was a little, like, it was earlier, so little stuff would fuck me up more versus now I'm a little more experienced, but it was a little bit level, so there was a part there that wasn't level, so I was hitting and it was messing with my head, and then I went, sometimes there's a certain crowd, there's a way you go, and I went in a different direction. I went heavy drug use direction.
Good for you.
Versus
Good for you.
which works with some shows, it's great, right, with those audiences, but it was like, after, it was mostly female, maybe more Latinx leaning female, and the way I went was like, no, it wasn't a good choice. But that's where I saw Anthony. I got his number, and he put me a bunch of shows up, like, I don't know,
North Suburbs.
Yeah, the suburbs, yeah, because I'm out
that's
here.
That's where he's at, yeah.
Oh, I remember. I was driving to one of his shows, like in McHenry, and no joke, there's a place. It's a Mexican restaurant, obviously run by white people because they don't know what they're doing. The name of the Mexican restaurant, it's somewhere on my Instagram. I'll post it when I find the picture when I release this. The name of the place is called Beaners.
No.
Let's see if you can look up Beaners Restaurant, McHenry County or something. See if you can Google it.
I would have lit that place up on fire, dude. I would have lit it up on fire immediately. There's no fucking way.
Beaners Restaurant.
Oh, it's there.
Beaners.
Holy shit.
Beaners Mexican Barbecue. They have a Facebook. I've never been so.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I drove by that sign. I make signs like that on my real job, by the way. That's.
Oh my God.
And they own it. They own it. They're like, no, this is who we are. We know who we voted for.
I just asked them if it was real in the chat.
Oh, it's totally real.
We'll see if they're.
They probably don't even know. It's like, oh, Beaners, that's a cool name because we sell beans. You don't think about it, right? There's some people out
they
west.
sell beans, all right.
This is incredible.
Beans and ecstasy. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Allegedly, if I were trying to get ecstasy, I'm trying to get it from a girl that I slept with once, and she stopped sleeping with me. But I might have hit her up recently. Because some people put on their Snap. I don't know if you guys are on Snapchat, but there's a lot of drug dealing on Snap. And they put whole menu. They're like, bro, hit me up. It's HML. Hit my line. And they put all this stuff. And I was like, we stopped talking because, I thought we were just kind of hooking up. And then she took it more seriously. We stopped. But I apologize. I gave her a whole message. I did buy her makeup. But if she does have it, I'll give it to her. Allegedly. None of this is true, by the way. I'm just. But. But I am. It's funny because now it's like I'm hitting up this person to allegedly buy
some goods.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give it. The makeup is still there. I was gonna do a giveeway for the makeup in the podcast because I was
man, you know what? That would be hilarious, and then you should tag her. Like, hey, we're giving away this makeup. She's like, that's my fucking makeup.
Yeah,
it was.
It was, but like you gotta.
You're not responding anymore.
Yeah, so it's like, but now if she does have these things, then. I was like, but what's funny? I saw her post, and then she was like, she was hurt or something, and she was at the hospital, and I was like, oh shit, and I forgot to reply.
Why was she at the hospital?
I don't know. Looks like, I don't know if she fell at work or something. Something happened.
Some makeup ran.
Something like that, and then I some makeup. Oh no, but I was like, and I thought about her other post earlier that she posted about the drugs, and I was like, you know what? let's not burn this bridge. So at first that you warm it up with, hey, man, I hope everything's okay. Then I wait a few hours later, and I was like, oh, by the way, Molly, you know?
So let me get this clear. You reached out of the goodness of your heart to make sure you don't burn a drug bridge. Essentially is what you're telling me right
But
now.
I'm going to give her the makeup. I'm going to give her the Jeffree Star makeup. You know what I mean?
Okay, I like that.
As long as she has the Molly. Otherwise, it's going to be in a Lobo Den giveaway soon on Instagram Live. But you're in a happy relationship. Like, I'm still single, and it's where'd you guys meet? Because I remember like it was, you talked about it and said like it's not easy when you're a comic finding a woman.
Not any entertainer.
Yeah,
any entertainer's not, because it's I feel like I've had the conversation with multiple comedians while I was in multiple relationships.
Yeah,
and there's a huge trust level, and sometimes the trust is there, sometimes it's not. Sometimes things are on the up and up, and sometimes they are not. You know, you're taking pictures with people that your significant other has never met.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think
about that. If you're taking
that.
pictures with pretty women,
I never
it's
even
an
thought
issue.
about that,
But if you're taking pictures with ugly women or big women or gay dudes, you don't hear a peep about it. It's not up until they see pretty pictures with pretty women.
Who's this bitch?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's my cousin. What do you... Oh, that's your cousin? I bet you're fucking... You know, like, it's that kind of situation. But I've gone through it for years. It didn't matter who I was dating. It's just always, that's just kind of the rhythm it is.
Is there like a system? There's something you figured out, or is it just a girl, or?
No. I don't think you ever truly figure it out. I think there comes to a point where you both reach a certain level of comfort with each other where you're like, it's just, not it is what it is, but, you know, who's going to be willing to take the bigger risk on ruining everything that you've established for a good time?
Yeah.
You know, and you can't really call that kind of situation.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're not. It's like any other, I guess technically it's like any other relationship.
Yeah.
Or marriage. There's good times, there's rough times. Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. You're going to work through them or you're not.
Yeah, and I tell all my I'm single, but I tell my friends who are not in relationships, like Lorraine, because all my people around me in relationships, married, and it's like, it's tough. I see it. You see, it's a hard work. You know what I mean?
It's work.
It's work.
Dude.
It is exactly what it is. It's work. You know what I mean? And it's like,
so not to cut you off. I apologize.
Always.
I think one of the hardest things is that you end up being with people that you have been brought up around, attitude-wise, personality-wise. You're like, that's what I recognize. So that's what you're kind of drawn to. But that doesn't mean it's the healthiest situation.
Yeah.
It's just that's what you've been around this entire time. So you go through these hard times, and you're like, am I supposed to go through these hard times? Oh, yeah, because that's what I'm used to. You know, and then you think about, I'm going to go to a totally different culture. I'm going to go to some white girl. I think it's going to be totally different.
Oh, God.
And then it's the same, you know, it's, you just never know. That's what I mean.
Never again. I'm so
Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. It doesn't matter what the culture is, what, you know, it just, if it's going to work out, it's going to.
Yeah.
You know, so you just have to find somebody who's willing to deal with your bullshit.
Yeah.
That is what marriage is. If you have
somebody who's going to deal with your bullshit.
If you find somebody who's willing to deal with your bullshit and you can deal with them talking back to you all the time, then you're fine.
Yeah.
And I hate back talk. If there's one thing that drives me
you got to
nuts,
pick your battles in your relationship.
Oh,
and
dude.
that I'm barely learning that now. I'm barely learning that.
There's sometimes you got to be Stevie Wonder when you don't see them flipping you off. And there's other times you're Helen Keller. You're like, rah, rah, rah. You know, like you don't. It's Helen Keller, right? She was mute.
She's a blinded mute. Actually, the article just came out about her because people attacked her because she has white privilege or something. Like, dude, she's...
How do you have white privilege if you're blind and mute?
She was a blind deaf mute.
I bet she would have got COVID vaccine before we did, goddammit.
I just saw that the other day. I was like, oh, poor, she has blind privilege.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, don't get me wrong again. Relationship-wise, if you find somebody who's willing to go through the really rough times with you, then that's who you stick with.
Yeah.
You know, because then when the good times do hit, you appreciate them so much more. Because anybody could be in an easy situation, but when the shit hits the fan and they're like, I'm out.
Yeah. And the girl you found you when you were like, you had, or something like, was attracted to just the outside, what is it, the peacocking, she gone, you know what I mean? She's going to be like.
It's my peacock. It's a stupid peacock. But I had an ex-girlfriend who was Cuban. And she was the worst, bro. She talked back the most. She always had the most shit to say. She was gorgeous. I mean, she made like 70, 80 grand. I'm over here pulling a couple grand, you know, every several months. This is before I was doing cruise ships. And just never a happy person, bro. Always had something to complain about. Always a situation. Who is this? Who is that? I'm like, you're prettier than the people I'm posing with. What are you worried about? And it was always a huge situation. But finally, I was like, I'm out. And she was lost. She was like, because I'm just a chubby Puerto Rican dude who tells jokes.
I don't think you're chubby, but okay.
Oh, stop it. Keep going. More. But that was always my thought. If I don't have a six-pack, I've always considered myself to be chubby.
Oh, okay.
Did
you used to have a six-pack?
No.
Oh.
Rice and pork chops? Stop it. Yeah, no, but it was just one of those things where when I told her I was done with her, she was lost. Because she was like, you're going to leave this? And I was like, fucking yeah. And I can't wait. Yeah, I was done. And she was fucking lost because she was the breakup-er, never the breakup-e.
Oh.
So when I pulled the plug on that shit, it was great.
I won. You won. You won one for the team, for the guys.
Oh, it was.
That's some king shit, dude.
Because it's 1, 2, 3 strikes are out at the. Oh my God.
You're a Cubs fan?
I'm a Sox fan.
Okay.
I was born and raised on the north side.
Oh, okay.
And I went to go to. So here's another sad story. I went to a Cubs signing when Sammy Sosa was with the team. When he first started.
When he was not white.
Pre-white. Pre-white, pre-green eyes. Went to try to get his autograph. He didn't sign it for me after I waited in line for a long time. Then my dad walked up to him. My dad is fluent in English and Spanish. And he talked to him in Spanish. He was like, pero que te pasa? Ba, ba, ba. And Sammy's like, I'm all done.
Ooh.
My dad took the card, ripped it up, and threw it at him. And he walked out of Wrigley. And after that, I was a Sox fan. And that's from like 4th grade on. So I've been a Sox fan ever since. So, I mean...
you got a legit reason.
I rock the White Sox hard because every time I ran into any of the White Sox players, even back in like the 05 series, because I live in Humboldt Park with the other Puerto Ricans.
Is that when they won the World Series?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great... I went to one of the games.
Yeah. So being being Puerto Rican on the north side and you're not a Cubs fan is kind of like a unicorn. Because they assume that the Mexicans are Sox fans and the Puerto Ricans are Cubs fans.
White Sox,
Yeah, but me, I was the opposite because of that situation. But anytime I ran into Ozzie Guillen or AJ Pierzynski or Canerco or whatever, yeah, well, sign whatever you want. You want a picture? Let's take a picture. They were all just really nice, humble dudes.
They weren't Cubs, Northside elitist.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's different now, but I know, like, it was enough for me when I was a kid. Like anybody else, you want somebody's autograph and they crush it for you.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, well, fuck off. Let me go. That's like being a Bulls fan. Then all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to be a Pacers fan.
Yeah. Oh. Dude, my friend growing up, we had a friend growing up. We were all, he was one of those, he had to be opposite. So the bands you listened to were like,
it's a
no,
fucking
you never
Packers
heard of.
fan on some asshole
He was
shit.
a Pacers fan. Reggie Miller Pacers fan. We're all like.
The worst.
Yeah.
The worst, man.
My sister's a Packers fan. I don't know how. Oh, because Lil Wayne likes the Packers.
Well, Lil Wayne is a Packer, so it is what it is.
So, but oh crap! No, it happened to me. My life has been revolved around golf too. Outside of allegedly strippers and all this other life,
Drugs.
I'm in the golf industry. Yes, allegedly, but I'm in the golf industry and forever. And I remember I went to a tournament. It happened with what's his name, Phil Mickelson, lefty. I don't know if you know him.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
Phil.
yeah.
Same thing happened to me. I was Tiger fan, Phil fan. The Spaniard dude, I can't think of his name, who spit in a cup that one time and gets really angry.
Isn't Phil Mickelson?
Sergio Garcia.
He's the
lefty. Yeah,
he's
lefty.
Doesn't he do like commercials for some type of drug company?
Oh, they all do in golf. The drug companies are in golf. The
he
sponsor
makes some
insurance,
fat
finance
money.
companies.
Yeah. Okay. All
They're
right.
huge. Yeah. So
I didn't mean to interrupt.
but it
you.
used to be
Sorry.
KPMC, which was like a big insurance company. Those companies, they're big in golf as far as sponsorship. But we were at the Western Open at Cog Hill. It's over here in, I think, Lamont. Yeah, it's in Lamont, Illinois. And then Phil Mickelson was there. We were like following him. He was at the range, and then he was leaving. And then we go, and he was with his caddy, Bones. Bones is still his caddy. And then we went up there, me and my buddy, to get autographs, like 16 or 17. Like, Mr. Mickelson, can we get your autograph, Mr. Mickelson? First we waited away, and the guy's like, no, don't come. And I was like, all right, so we waited, we took it, nothing. I was like, no, ignore. So we were right in front of him. He's like right there. I was like, hey, do you think we can get an autograph? Can we get an autograph? And he doesn't look at us, even though we're right, like, you're where you are, right? And right there, he's like, Bones, can you bring, his caddy, can you bring the bag over here, Bones? And I was like, what the And then all of a sudden, these cameras come with a crowd of more kids, and all of a sudden he's signing all these autographs, and I was like, you fucking cunt, right? I don't like to curse, but you fucking I don't have a problem with him now. I've gotten older, I've matured. But at that time, for years, I hated Phil Mickelson.
I still hate Sammy Sosa.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I still do.
Yeah.
If his house gets robbed in the Dominican Republic, I'm fine with it.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's what
I think it's, you know what, it's just shitty because you don't know what that kid, you don't know what you mean to that kid.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if we become famous comedians and somebody's like, can I get a picture? And you're like, no.
No.
You don't know if that kid saw you, laughed at you, needed that laugh, and now you're crushing all of that like positivity he has for you. Now he's gonna be an asshole.
That's what happened to George Lopez, right? He with I don't know if it was Eric Estrada or Mike.
Eric Estrada.
Yeah.
It was Eric Estrada's.
I forget the line is.
Chips.
Like, yeah, but he has a line like "fuck you puto" or so. FTP.
Fuck that puto.
That's about Eric Estrada, who became famous again on that novela, Dos Mujeres Un Camino.
But imagine, like, you have somebody like George, like, you've inspired somebody in the worst way,
Yeah.
where he's gonna be famous just to come at you.
Just to spite
like, that
you.
is a bad situation. That's awful. I would hate for somebody to become famous and be like, fucking Vince Acevedo. They want to take a picture of me.
I did this for you, motherfucker.
Yeah, when we're both getting lechon sandwiches and he want to take a picture. Like, that would be terrible. I would hate that.
I want to ask you, because you're Puerto Rican, what's your favorite place in the city to get a Jibarito sandwich? Do you know what a Jibarito is? I know you're white, but can you pull it up for my white
Man,
listeners?
You are asking for a
Or some top spots.
situation.
Just one of your
I'll
favorites.
give you a top 3,
Okay.
so that way I can make it equal.
For the white people, a Jibarito is plantain, which is fried and flattened out, and then there's lechon, usually pork meat with
steak.
or steak,
Yeah,
yeah,
or
beef
steak.
or
Yep.
steak, and then a side of rice and beans. And then, and I'll say this now, and everybody knows, all the Latinos know that Puerto Ricans make the best rice. It's stupid to even argue it. If you do argue it,
I love the fact you said it.
yeah, it's stupid. And if people argue or not, they're one of those people that just want to fuck with you, or they're trolling you, dude.
Well, it also really depends also because like my mother made great white rice and red beans.
Oh, the island style, yeah.
The island style, yeah. And then there's the typical orange rice that we would have, which was delicious also.
Yeah.
I think my top 3, it's already showing a couple of them right there. One is called, oh my God.
Or bring up the top.
One is Jibaritos y Más.
Okay.
The other one
There we
is
go, that
called
one's there.
Yeah, another one is called Diana's, which is a small mom and pop joint on Sacramento and Ashland. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Sacramento and Ashland. It's a small little mom and pop. It's been there forever, but they do these massive sandwiches also.
What is it called?
Diana's.
I'm
gonna try that.
Yeah, no, I mean, even if you go there in the morning for breakfast, they're making you massive ham, egg, and cheese sandwiches. There it is. Yep. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. All the stars. 4.5, baby. They're playing no games over there.
4.6.
Yo, you go in there and they're crushing you with their sandwiches. Yeah. And it's just it's a dad and a mom, and I met their son. His name is Ricky. He took it over just recently, and they're just, even with everything being shut down, look, that's their sandwiches. They use that it's a sweet Puerto Rican bread. And then they're doing the sweet bread with the cheese, with the ham, with the egg, or with the steak, or whatever the case is. The moment you go home and you have this sandwich, you're taking a nap as soon as you're done.
Oh.
It's incredible. Yeah. So Diana's is one of my favorites. And then the other one is Casa Central.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I believe, on Chicago Avenue and Ashland as well. Where are you? There it is. See it, Casa Central?
Yeah, up on 1437 West Chicago Avenue.
Yeah, they have a dynamite one because they also serve it with a side of sofrito, which is kind of like a very zesty, spicy spread.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, see, that's what they're offering right there. And every Puerto Rican restaurant, they all, I mean, as they should, just like any Mexican taqueria or whatever, everybody's like, we're offering the best. Because everybody's trying their hardest to give you the best of the best. So you can find great variations of this sandwich, but just know it's going to your heart, and then it's going to feel good, and you're going to go to bed.
Do you drink maltas?
No,
Okay,
I don't.
Maltas, it's basically corn syrup. It's a Puerto Rican thing.
It's like a malt.
It's malt with corn syrup, and then...
I know some people that drink it with an egg.
When they
And
put
it's
the-
considered like a
they put the
hangover
egg
recipe.
Dude,
Savages.
Latinos, does it? We have the weightiest Latinos like with hangover
Because we're
recipes.
animals. Because we're animals. I remember my dad when I was younger. My dad was big on tennis when he was younger. So he would take me to the tennis courts with his friends in Humboldt Park.
Mm-hmm.
And after these guys would drink at night, they would then go play tennis the very next day. And my dad would take me with him, whether there's other kids or not. He'd be like, "Just sit here, watch us play tennis." And they would all have hangovers and be like, oh, a little hair on the dog. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Then these guys are drinking again. They're like, that's the best way to get over a hangover is another drink.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand it until I started drinking. I was like, oh, that shot of tequila really cleared out that hangover the night before.
Because I don't know if it's true. I think your body is like withdrawing from the alcohol, and you having the alcohol is doing something.
It hits that nerve you need.
Yeah, it hits at something, and it's like, because
savage.
So I'm probably gonna be hungover tomorrow because I have my Black Label whiskey.
you.
I have 2 bottles of Perrier.
Are you a Johnny Walker? You're more
Johnny
of a
Walker.
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker
See, I'm
Black.
more of a Jack Daniels guy.
I could drink Jack if I'm at a bar show or something. They don't have Johnny Walker. If they don't have Johnny Walker Black, if they don't have Dewar's.
Dewar's. Oh my God.
Yeah, if they don't have Dewar's. I go Johnny Walker because they'll have Red Label. Like we have Red Label. I was like, I'll pass on that. Not to be bougie, but like I can't
listen.
do. You know what I mean?
You're from far north side. It's okay to be bougie.
Dude, I'm in the suburbs. I'm not drinking this trash.
Dewar's. What always reminds me of Dewar's is going to Puerto Rico. The casino. So there's only a couple places I know when you go gambling that give you free alcohol, which is Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, and Vegas.
Yeah.
Everywhere else you're paying for your alcohol.
Yep.
Puerto Rico, their main whiskey that they would offer you was Dewar's.
Oh, really?
And then their big drink out there was Dewar's on the rocks with coconut water. So you're there having
It sounds kind of good, actually.
It's delicious, but just know the next day you're going to be demolished.
Yeah?
Yeah. I would go to Puerto Rico. It was San Juan Hotel and Casino, and then the other one was the Embassy. And it's all within the same area. It's called Isla Verde. And it's as soon as you get off the airplane in Puerto Rico, I mean, all the casinos are like 5 minutes away.
Ooh.
Casino hotels. So that's
not good for you.
It's not, but it's great at the same time.
There's one Puerto Rican drink I can't. You know when you find something that there's something too good. The phrase "too good to be true" that happened to me.
Coquito? Is that what you're about to
No,
talk
not
about?
Coquito. Oh, that'll hang you over. Oh, it's a Christmas season, so that's basically Puerto Rican.
It's going right
eggnog,
now. It's
right?
moving. Yeah.
Yeah, it's selling. It's going. Like it's my Facebook Coquito for sale. It's out there, right?
It's beautiful.
So, but mine is we found this whiskey, this Puerto Rican whiskey. We thought like, oh, it's a good deal, whatever.
Palo Viejo?
Yes. Palo Viejo.
Oh.
Palo fucking Viejo, right?
Yo,
it's
dude.
not. It's inexpensive. It's not top of the
It's
line.
It's the working man's alcohol.
And then we're younger. We figured out. I was like, man, this isn't too bad. We mixed it with at the time with the Red Bull from Jewel. It had a tiger on it, so it was there. It was a Jewel brand Red Bulls, and we'd get a handle of Palo Viejo, and we figured it out. Like, look, we could drink the there. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I can't even drink. And my last sip of Palo Viejo was in the alley. I come from the suburbs, so we would go drink in Wrigleyville. I'd park in this parking lot, and you go through the alley to go to the bars right in that Wrigleyville's. And I remember we hit a bottle of Palo Viejo in the alley. Because you're younger, you have less money, so you go drink, and you'd be like, I forgot my debit card. I don't know if you've done this, James. I forgot my debit card in the car. You go back, but you're in the alley. You find where you got
Smash it out.
your Palo Viejo. And I remember I was like, I had one, that's that shout. I had one, I was like, I didn't feel good. And then, but you're being cheap, or I'm being cheap, and I was like, I need to have one more so I have a good buzz so I could talk to a girl, maybe get laid. This is my life revolves around women. It's pathetic. Anyways, but then I remember, I was like, I don't think I should have this second shot. And my friend's like, man, maybe we should. And I was like, all right, just one more. And it was that one more that I threw up all over and it was like, and I never had Palo Viejo, so I can't look at Palo Viejo Red Bull. There's certain drinks I can't even look at.
Overdid it.
Yeah, I overdid it, so I can. But we thought, I was like, oh man, this is so much cheap. We're saving money, and we're.
Palo Viejo is that's a serious situation. It's like a Puerto Rican's mezcal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because mezcal, for Mexicanos, it's got the worm in it. Like that's gonna get you where you need to go quickly. And there's cheap variations, there's mid-grade, there's expensive. Palo Viejo is just like $5. Here's a bottle. Enjoy yourself.
I was drinking Puerto Rican homeless beer.
Yeah.
Homeless beer. I kind of want to drink Palo Viejo now again.
I went to a beach in Puerto Rico, in oh my God, it's an area of the island called Rincon, so northwest of the island, I believe. And a small little bar was doing dollar shots of it.
Ooh.
You're like 4 shots in, it's 97 degrees outside. You're like, I can do another one. And it was great though, man. I think of Palo Viejo, I'm like, it's always great memories in bad situations.
There was a bar at Kenosha, but they used to have $5 cover.
Okay.
All you could drink until midnight. They didn't even charge you. Yeah, Kenosha, Wisconsin. I went to drink with these Wisconsin people drink like different. It's a different level.
It's the drunkest state in the United States.
It's insane. You can't. I was like, oh wow,
because the women look like linebackers.
Not after a few drinks.
Alcohol.
Hey, not after a few of those drinks, dude.
Blue 42. Yeah.
That joke. Oh, we're closing out. Do you have any plugs or anything you want to promote?
Are we done with our time already?
We're close to it, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That flew by. That was so much fun. I'm actually kind of upset, and I want to force myself onto another show now. I have no shameless plugs because our lives have pretty much been canceled.
All right, the social media we can bring up.
Excuse me. Now, what I do have coming up is I've been working on these episodes called Comedians Unknown.
Okay.
Which is essentially, because I've been doing so much, excuse me, because I've been doing so many cruises and because I've been working with so many people that aren't in the limelight, but that are absolutely hysterical, I was like, it'd be great in these times where there's no content, no material, and they keep seeing the same faces over and over, was I would start introducing these other comics that I've worked with in all these different scenarios. And it's not just black, it's not just Spanish, it's not just white, it's a little bit of everything. So that's something that's being edited presently.
Nice.
And I think we're about to drop a trailer very soon.
Cool. None of them in the Chicago area?
Yeah, quite a few.
Message me, I'll get them on the podcast.
Frank Townsend, Alex Ortiz, Manny Acosta, Andy Beningo, who's a gentleman who I worked with on the cruise ships. He's out of Michigan. Hilarious. When you meet this guy, when you see him, he looks like a teddy bear. When he goes on stage, he's the cleanest dude, like material-wise. Like, you just want to hug him. But the moment you hang out with him, you're like, oh, you got a little bit of demon in you. Yeah, I like that. He's very funny, very humble dude. And that's just been kind of the rhythm of like everything that we've been attempting to do is getting all these guys who deserve to have some of that limelight. And it's something that we want to continue doing, but you just never know because sometimes things are open to film and then things aren't. So to find a place like this...
I'm glad I can introduce you. But quick, Alex Ortiz is one of my favorite laughs. He has that stoner
my mentor.
Yeah. He has that. I can't do his laugh. That's a stoner laugh. He has that. I can't do it. I can't because of the drugs, I'm sure.
He saved my career because there was a point where being younger, because I started when I was 20, so I'm 36 now. You're cocky, you're arrogant, you think you're funny than you really are. And because I had, because I was doing okay, I thought I was untouchable. And then there was a point where comics didn't want to work with me, and I didn't understand why.
Oh, you Patrice O'Neill did a little bit.
Yeah,
okay.
So I got the phone call from him. He's like, dude, I want to book you on these shows. Nobody wants to work with you.
And it's a good thing he told you, because if it didn't, you would have been doing the same stuff the whole time.
Yeah, he pulled me to the side, and I had to reset. And there's still certain people that you never have a chance to really recoup situations with, but, after so many years, we're either going to work together or we're not. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that dude is a saint.
Shout out to Puerto Rican Alex Ortiz.
Mr. Alex Ortiz.
And then what's your Instagram and whatever?
Instagram, Facebook, it's just Vince Acevedo.
Vince Acevedo.
Yeah, VinceAcevedo. It is not avocado. I will slap you to death. Twitter, you can find me. I have like 400 followers. I hate tweeting.
I don't tweet.
No, I don't. Right now, social media and me, it's just too much. Like, if everything is shut down, I just want to shut down. I want to play Call of Duty for several hours. I want to hang with the kid.
Watch some Star Wars.
Watch some Star Wars, The Mandalorian, Baby Grogu.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to see it.
What are you waiting for?
I have a few days off.
Oh, my God, dude.
I still work and blah, 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 and try to have sex with
That's no
women.
excuse.
No,
I will see it this
do it
weekend.
while you're having sex.
Yeah.
They're only 30-minute episodes. How long are you really lasting?
Well, tonight, it's going to... I also bought these pills, dude. It's going to go for a while.
Oh, you went to the gas station.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
man.
Good morning. I got four in the cart, too. I didn't mention that earlier.
Donkey punch. All right, nice.
Plug yourself, Mr. James Webb, please.
Follow me. Don't follow me. Follow the People of Comedy Network at People of Comedy Network. I almost plugged my shit. On Instagram, at People of Comedy. On Twitter, I never use Twitter. And Facebook.com/People of Comedy. If you want to start a show, we have all the toys in here, and we charge 1/10 of the industry rate with a producer, with post-production, with content management, everything you could ever want. Come hit me up, DM me on Instagram at People of Comedy Network.
Great setup. James, thank you so much. This is an amazing setup.
you,
I see
bro.
the Alienware, which means you're a gamer also.
You know it, baby.
No super call-outs, but from one nerd to another, I see you. I see you.
And then follow Lobo Podcast on Instagram. Patreon episodes coming out. Actually, it'll be out by this because I already have it up, but I had sex. It fucked up my life. Give me a review on iTunes. I'm going to read it and put it out. DM me. I have gear. Hit me up. Lobo Den.
Lobo Den.